Tonight's musical choice was the Super Earth Anthem, performed in a metal style by Bad Hairline Productions. I just felt that it was appropriate. Sometimes when times are at their hardest, your back is to the wall and you are all out of everything else. Hope is all you get. Early this morning, the Illuminate utterly annihilated Mars by igniting its atmosphere. The only reason they didn't do the same thing to Super Earth is because it was only the thin density and unique composition of Mars' atmosphere that allowed such a mean trick to be possible. I don't know how. It doesn't seem to make any sense in physics or common sense, but they ignited the carbon dioxide in the air. The Helldiver training facilities there were completely destroyed, and there have been no word on any survivors. From my position here in high orbit, I can still see the planet burning. I simply don't know what to say. On the ground of Super Earth herself, Eagleopolis in Sector 5 has been under siege for most of the day. The fighting is constant and fierce, with both SEAF Marines and Helldivers waging total war against the undead invaders with every ounce of their being. Extreme civilian casualties are reported, and there is word of the voteless prion disease raging completely out of control in the surrounding settlements. And unable to resist the sirens' call of their masters, the voteless are flooding into Eagleopolis, further skewing the numbers game against us. As of 4 p.m. Super Earth Eastern Standard Democratic Time today, the mega city of Remembrance fell under Illuminate invasion as well. The 95th Roughnecks have pledged to defend the city and subjected the squids to withering counterfire from the moment they broke atmosphere. As predicted, Superstone Park has been completely destroyed by the Illuminate, who triggered a geological hydrothermal detonation. Most of Super America is now blanketed in ash, and the destruction is widespread and simply catastrophic. The Illuminate have also secured orbital and aerial superiority, with Helldiver Eagle bombers constantly clashing with the alien craft for rulership of the skies. This is resulting in slower than average rearm times by about 30 seconds or so. Furthermore, due to the destruction of Mars, Helldiver recruits are being trained at an undisclosed location. Until further notice, reinforcement counts are diminished by 20% across the board. Ownership of the sky is contested constantly by Illuminate interlopers, and these pieces of awful nightmare fuel, codenamed Leviathans. My battlefield testing revealed that the recoilless rifle will chill Leviathans in about 5 to 6 shots, and I thought that the 3 blue engine discs on the bottom of the craft were weak points. However, I was informed by my military analysts that this damage to the engines on the underside of the craft is simply cosmetic. I am told, simply shoot them with AT anywhere, it doesn't matter where, and have been advised to instruct Helldivers in the field to have at least one person taking the AT comfy chair emplacement with them or the recoilless rifle. My word, these things are over-engineered. Leviathans are deadly accurate and fire constantly at targets on the ground. They can destroy an exosuit in a single shot from virtually any range, making mechanized combat against them extremely ill-advised. Destroying one of the fins along the sides of the craft will reveal its internals, but it is still a heavily armored area, requiring weapons packing heavy armor penetration to inflict further damage. Word from High Command is to not engage the Leviathans unless you absolutely have to, prioritizing avoidance, but if that is not possible, the standard procedure is a barrage of coordinated AT fire from your entire team. Even then, the Illuminate have done their homework and came prepared for class. They have a lot of these things, so even if you do somehow manage to destroy one, another one will likely be along in a few moments to replace their fallen fellow, so this does not buy you much operational time. The bottom line is that it is possible to destroy these things, but it is such a massive pain in the tail that killing one is almost as bad as letting it live. Their cruising altitude is roughly 50 meters above ground level, and they move fairly slowly. They can be outrun, tricked, or simply avoided using the megacity skyline. The only silver lining is that, while they are keen of eye and can spot you easily, they do not appear able to tell who you are, meaning they can't differentiate you from SEAF Marines or fleeing civilians. If they could, they would most definitely turn you into a hell-living scorch mark the second that they saw you. According to my Doom tracker, the Great Host fleet is still 74.1% intact, and High Command has issued the major order to slay 2.5 billion Illuminate over the next 3 days, thinning their ranks while defending our megacities and our people. I have definitely been doing my part today, but even hopped up on dark fluid, it is exhausting to do something like ripping an overship out of the sky and sending it crashing into the Illuminate gathered below. Yeah, I beat a mucky fluffer with a mucky fluffer. Noctalia was right to fear me. Aside from that little stunt, I used the STS cannons with my fistiness to destroy at least 3 other overships and mow down countless other Illuminate, approaching the 100,000 kill mark. I know that the Chaos Divers think that I'm some kind of poser when it comes to squid slaying, but I have other things to worry about right now than what they think of me, and I don't feel the need to prove anything to them. By the time that I'm finished with this campaign, win or lose, that number is going to get a lot bigger, so help me Liberty. The Order is going to wish they stayed gone. Speaking of the Order, I managed to gain a glimpse into the mind of our foe this morning. His name is Noctalia, meaning Sovereign of Enlightened Thought, and he leads the Great Host Fleet against us. He takes the threat presented by humankind deadly serious, and remember that illusionist that abducted me and tortured me last winter? That was his wife. At least, she was. Until I gave her a mind-blowing experience she will never get over.
Impudence.
Up yours, Lovecraft. If you were better at doing anything about that, I wouldn't be breathing air right now.
I will have you skinned alive for this insult. Mark my words.
Well, I'm right here, right now, if you feel like you're man enough to take me down. Unless you're afraid of me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your thoughts betray you, Cthulhu. Keep sending your minions after me, and I'll keep sending them back home in a pine box to you. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by the truly inept and cowardly, bad guys and good guys from all over the Federation are returning to Super Earth to help in the defense, as can be seen here from the Krakabos News Network. The Vertex Diver military has abandoned the planet and returned to help prepare Megacity 1 with a full half of their force devoted to fighting the Illuminate in the surrounding countryside. There is also a fierce fighting reported in Sector 3, surprisingly performed by the Grand Germanic Kingdom, who is shooting down Illuminate craft of all sizes, from warp ship troop transports to overship logistics vessels. The Order is actually having a very hard time even approaching the megacity, and get this, dear listeners, their commanding officer in the field is that Care Bear of all Care Bears, Dr. Z. He sent me a message last night, but it didn't get to me until this afternoon because, well, our FTL communications grid look like Swiss cheese right now. Seriously, the Terminids could be right behind these squid-faced jokers out in the Oort cloud, and we would have no idea until the Sporefall that slapped the sloppy stupid out of us. However, I will play that message for you now.
This message is for the Liberation Fleet, once only the Liberation Fleet. My name is Kaiser Z, or you all might know me as my alternative title of Dr. Z. I am at an understanding and fully aware of my reputation, aware that my atrocities are known as my human rights violations are made public. It seems that there comes a time where I need to put aside my own goals in assistance of humanity, as every single one of us is at the brink of our own extinction due to the communist squids coming in, destroying everything we've built. With the battle of Super Earth imminent, I have made my plans. My troops are ready. Their arms are ready. The determinations are higher than ever. I'll be defending Central Europe, specifically the Fatherland, and I'll also be defending Prosperity City. I will not let neither of those territories fall. What I want everyone to understand is that we all have our differences. We all have our ideas. We all run different factions, but every single one of us was once that helldiver, that trainee on Mars, that defender of democracy. Every one of us once fought for Super Earth. And with our race, our species, at the threat of extinction, we all must answer the call to come back to her aid. And this message, specifically for you, Pandora. It was an honor getting to meet you. When I first met you, I merely thought you was nothing more than a fool. A mindless... It's hard to say. I always thought you was someone who was always clueless, someone who was just a klutz. A mindless child. But getting to see how you've dealt with situations. More importantly, watching you from the background of my throne. I couldn't have been more proud to know that I was one of your enemies. And if we live to see the day, I hope to one day become an enemy of yours again. But as of now, I would be honored to fight by your side. And I will fulfill the request you have given me. My men will defend your family. They will defend Prosperity City. To every last man. Auf Wiedersehen, Liberation Fleet. For democracy, for liberty, and for Super Earth. Herr Kaiser Z.
I hope that one day we can be proper enemies again too, Doctor. But heck, right now, I would be absolutely thrilled if I survived into next week. I imagine this has to be what those guys felt like right when Stalingrad kicked off. But I definitely do not relish the idea of spending the next 6 months like this. But hey, at least this time, the Germans are on our side, and that's just funny to me. Something, irony, enemies, friends, blah, blah, blah. That's been Liberty's Latest with me, Pondera the Radio Angel. I'll be turning things over to the night crew and hitting the airways first thing tomorrow morning with new Illuminate movements and priority target callouts. This is it, Helldivers. We're in the endgame now. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for the defense of Super Earth. Now I hope.